What's going on, everyone? You are listening to Bull Central here. Hope you're all doing well. So guys, one of the great features about the YouTube community page is that it allows you to ask questions and send out polls to the community on your channel. And yesterday, I announced that I will be doing a daily poll for a question on a various topic, all Bulls related, of course. And the question I had yesterday produced some interesting results. And based on the comments in the poll, it actually got me thinking even more about who the Bulls should build around for the future. So the question was, and I'll flash it up here on the video, but it's who would you rather build the franchise around for the future? No additional context like factoring in injuries, players, age, salary, etc. And I did that intentionally, so I'm not blaming anyone for the choices they made. And the options I gave were Zach LaVine, Kobe White, Lauri Markkanen, and Patrick Williams. I initially thought about including Wendell in there, but honestly, I didn't think anyone would actually choose him, and I feel bad because I really do hope Wendell turns out to be a stud. But among those four other guys, let's be real, at this point in time, you wouldn't build your franchise around Wendell. So as you can see, the results were somewhat surprising, somewhat expected. For me, I found them surprising anyway. Maybe you guys didn't, but Zach LaVine came in with the most votes at 45%, just narrowly beating out Patrick Williams. And I guess the reason I was surprised by this was because based on a lot of the comments on this channel and the critiques I've received for not feeling Zach is a franchise player or a number one option on a title contending team, I assumed majority of the people would vote for Zach on this one. Now, here's my thoughts on all of this, because I'll admit I was actually kind of back and forth on this question, because on the one hand, you have Zach LaVine, who has shown flashes of superstardom, and I say flashes because it's only been occasionally. He's 25 and has continued to improve year after year throughout his career, and he's heading into the peak of his prime. In theory, he would make the most sense to build around. At the same time, though, although 25 is young, the rest of the guys on this list are 23, 20, and 19 respectively. So although they may not be on Zach's level yet, they very well could be, or even better, by the time they reach Zach's age. So honestly, I struggled in answering this one, which I know is weird because it's my own question. You would think I already have an idea of who I would choose. If Lauri wasn't a bit injury prone, I would probably have gone with him, because I still think Lauri has a lot of potential. He's a little bit older and more established than Kobe White and Patrick Williams. He's a stretch big man, which is very coveted in this league. Obviously, his defense needs to pick up. That would obviously be the big question mark for me, but I think he could potentially get there with the right coaching. But because Lauri has always had some sort of injury every year of his short career so far that has sidelined him on average for nearly a quarter of an entire season, I'm not sure you can choose him as a centerpiece that you build around. With Kobe White, I've said it before, I'm more concerned about his overall consistency. He has some amazing hot nights on offense, and then the following games, we'll just see him disappear or create too many turnovers in trying to run the offense. I like Kobe a lot, but not the guy I would probably build the franchise around among these other players. So then you have Patrick Williams. Now, the reason it's tricky for me to pick Patrick Williams is because on one hand, he's your youngest player, 19 years old, and he's already showing promise, an NBA-ready body, a great defender, and has shown offensive potential. I mean, this kid has the potential to be something very special. That's why I said in my 2021 Bulls New Year's resolution video that the Bulls need to prioritize Williams' development over everyone else. I'm not saying just forget about all the other guys and their development, but that he needs to be made the priority given his ceiling and his upside. But the challenging thing is, it's really tough to say you would build a franchise around a future guy who has only played in 7 games so far in his entire NBA career. And although he's played decently, it's not like he was having, LeBron James type rookie debut in his first week. And on top of that, Williams wasn't initially highly recruited. This isn't like a Zion Williamson or Luka Doncic or Ben Simmons type draft pick where you knew he was going to be a star, a guy you wanted to build your franchise around going into the draft. And, no, let's be honest, most people hadn't really heard of this guy until days leading up to the draft. So this isn't a slam dunk type draft scenario where he is going to be the future of your franchise. That being said, a lot of franchise players weren't expected to be franchise players when they were first drafted, and then they became one. So all of this to say, I would likely choose Patrick Williams just because he's the youngest with the most upside potential. And if you're planning long-term for the future, I would say Williams is probably your guy between these 4 choices. That's just my opinion though. I'm obviously not a GM, and I'm sure our front office might feel differently if they had to answer this question as well. Maybe they would even say none of these guys, who knows? Now guys, I mentioned last week in my hot takes video that I'm going to start doing weekly hot takes, and since last week's edition came out on a Wednesday, I figured why not keep it consistent. We'll make this Bulls Hot Takes Wednesday, and moving forward, I'm going to start sharing the screenshots of said takes. I've already got some that I think are pretty great, so I'll be including those, but feel free to fire away your hot takes, as I can always hold off on them for next week's video if I have too many for the current week. You can never have too many good hot takes. That's all I gotta say. Feel free to drop in your takes in the comments. I'll also likely make a community post about it, so you can drop them in there, whichever works best for you. If you are not comfortable with me screenshotting your take, which includes your name and your picture if you have one, that is totally fine. Just don't leave a hot take. Any hot take you do leave in the comments is fair game. Let's just put it that way. I know I didn't mention anything about the upcoming game tonight. The Bulls will be taking on the Blazers tonight for a late game starting at 9 p.m. Central. Nothing new for the Bulls on the injury front, at least at the time of this recording. Still no Markkanen, Satoransky, Hutchinson, Arcidiacono, which is expected. All other players do appear to be a go for the game at this point. Hope you guys enjoy the game. I'll come out with a post-game video likely tomorrow, since the game will be ending pretty late. Also, the consensus on the live chat during the game was 80% yes, based on the poll that I had sent out. So I will start having those when I can. I'll likely start that sometime this week, and we'll announce it in advance. As always, be sure to subscribe if you're a Bulls fan and you enjoy daily Bulls content. Thanks again, everyone, and I will catch you guys in the next one.